Thank you for letting me stand here and present my product to you. Looks like I'm the only one with nose today. Sorry, but I did it. So, our company was established last year on August, and the initial purpose of our company is to invent focusing on household appliance. The first product we have is Ultrasonic washing device. It took us a year and a half to develop, and we named it as Wisoap. As you can see, it looks like soap. It's innovational design, and makes it very unique and stylish. And it is the latest model washing device that using ultrasonic method in the market right now. It is very small and portable. It's smaller than palm, and among similar products, it's very the Wisoap is the only wireless device in the market. So wireless could make Wisoap safer and easier to use. In addition, Wisoap has no switch. It's very intelligent. It turns on and off all by itself. Marketing plan. So our target markets is travelers, students, and households. And compared to traditional laundry, Wisoap could clean the clothes very effectively, and also it's portable and makes zero damage to the material of your clothes, and it's very green. But it cannot do large volume washing, and it doesn't have drying function. Compared to our competitor products, Wisoap is intelligent, and it's wireless, and Wisoap has up to 4 national patents right now, and the design is stylish, the technology is professional. But Wisoap, compared to competitors, the price of Wisoap is much higher than our competitors. And as a starter company, we don't have a lot of distribution channels. So expecting markets is from Chinese market to Asian market, like South Korea, Japan, into Europe, North America. Our pricing strategy is based on costing. So for now, we're doing low dealer price to attract more and more distributors and partners. At the same time, we're doing like retail price control. So promotion strategy is we're doing it from online to offline, corner shop to shopping mall. We've already done magazine advertisements. We've already done third-party evaluation. We've already done videos on popular websites. Financials. So far, all funds came from personal investing, and we have 3 follow-up products. So our plan is to get revenues from that Wisoap brings to reinvest to those 3 follow-up products. In the meantime, we're looking for interested investors, but funding is not our first priority. Manufacturing sources and distribution sources are our first priority to attract interested investors. Because as I said, we have 3 follow-up products. The next three follow-up products will be very difficult to produce. So we probably would need help from those 2 sides. Manufacturing hurdles. The first main problem we are facing with now is waterproof. Because Wisoap has to work in a very complicated working environment, like the ultrasonic vibration from the device, and it has to working under alkaline water So another thing is because it's small design and soap shape make it increases the difficulty to manufacture. As for now, we have actually made two different interior structural plan. The first plan actually can make 70% of the device waterproofed, but as you, it's pretty low. So we upgraded the plan, and the second plan could make 98% of the device waterproofed, but it's still too low for a product. For now, we're still looking for a better solution to solve this problem. And because our manufacturing budget is limited, so the quality of packaging and accessories are another two problems we're facing with now. And we're planning to increase the budget to solve this problem. We actually provided two different colors for customers to choose, white and black. But during the manufacturing process, we found it very difficult to produce black devices because black paint could make the ABS plastic thicker. So and results a lot of flawed products. So as well, we're still looking for a better solution to solve this problem. That's five problems we I hope to get answers. The first one is brands. As I just said, we have 3 follow-up products, so we want to promote our brands into the market. So how do we promote our brands effectively? And for Wisoap, how do we promote Wisoap into the market with like limited budget and in a very effective way? The third one is during the promotion process, we found out a lot of customers are having doubts with new technology. So how do we increase the acceptance of new technology for customers? The fourth one is distribution channels. We do not have a lot of distributors or partners to help us to promote the products. So how do we expand our distribution channels? The last one is pricing. For exports, we are really having a lot of questions how to pricing the product in the foreign markets. That'll be all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tao. I want to just go over the killer app of this product because I talked to you about it earlier, and I'm not sure if it was quite well explained in the presentation. So if I understand correctly, it basically looks like a bar of soap. It's an electronic device that has its own power supply, like a battery inside, and you place it. What you do is you have like a plastic bowl. You put some soap in the bowl. You put your clothes in the bowl, and then you put in this plastic cleaning device inside the bowl, and it ultrasonically cleans the clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
So I want to make sure the killer app is understood. So this probably has a lot of applications for people who are in the office and they have to just clean one shirt.
Yeah.
So I think the killer app is probably the big part that needs to be illustrated. And that's probably where we're having some problem entering the market. And I would think actually online marketing would be really useful because you can do YouTube ads.
Yeah.
Because education it's really hard to get new products in the market because of the education hurdle. In my opinion, from my experience. But all right, I'll let the experts take over now. Anybody with some questions?
You talk about having a limited budget in which to advertise or to promote what you have. I think what he said was very right. Is because now we live in a sharing economy, right? So everything is on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So it's easy to create an audience, but you have to create a very defined audience. So if you look at how washing clothing detergent is sold today, let's say on TV commercials, it's about the before and after, right? So it's here's a dirty shirt, you soak it in this soapy water, and look, it's all white. It's the same thing. You can do the same thing, right? You can do the supermarket test. You can go to a shopping mall and set up a booth and have your before and after test. This is a dirty shirt. Now we put the Wisoap in there, and then boom, it's white. You can do that type of thing. It doesn't cost you a lot of money to do that. You also create an audience of real customers. I say real customers because I think when you do a crowdfunding campaign, those aren't real customers. It's a false positive, right? People are supporting your campaign because they're in the tech community, but not necessarily because they're your real customer. You create a real customers by identifying who are your customers, having them be part of this testing, like a focus group.
Yeah.
You give them the product and have them test it, right? And then giving out product and having them go on and do YouTube unboxing videos and getting that type of validation. So there's very inexpensive ways to do that. A great example is one of our investments was, talking earlier about this electronic cigarette. We didn't do the crowdfunding campaign because I didn't think that was a great way to have a real customer base. So we went the other way, which is basically identifying who our customers were, smokers, giving them products, giving them free product and having them test it and getting feedback back. Having key opinion leaders do unboxing videos and then giving their comments out in the open public, right? It's a double-edged sword because if your product sucks, it's going to be really bad for you, but if your product's really good, it's going to be awesome, right? So you always have to make sure that your product is fully working before you give it out to key opinion leaders. But it's very inexpensive to do it. You don't have to do it with a lot of budget. There's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah. We actually we were thinking doing a 3D view to explain how it works, but it spent me like 50,000 RMB, so we didn't do it because it's too expensive for us.
Yeah, don't make things overly complicated for yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's all about MVP. Just get it to market, get it out there, and then you can slowly perfect it. A lot of founders and entrepreneurs, they always want the most perfect product. Version 1.0, then there's 2.0, 3.0, and you keep making those revisions. But you have to realize that you said fundraising is not a priority for you, but it is because you only have a limited amount of capital. At some point, the three of you are going to run out of capital, and then you're going to need that next round of funding. When you're raising money, when you need the money, it's already too late. You always need to be raising money when you don't need it. And what I mean by that is you're always out there pitching, selling, not raising money, but telling everybody how awesome your product is, right? And when you create that sense of urgency, that excitement in the community, then when you go to them 6 months from now and say, look, okay, now we're raising money, you don't have to start from square one. What's your name again? What are you guys doing again? It's about, oh yeah, you've been sending me the updates, we've been getting your newsletters, I think what you're doing is fantastic. Now you're raising money. Okay, now we can cut through all the chit chat and we can get to what are the terms of investing in your company, right? So always be selling. You know, there's that movie, I forget the name of the movie, where it's like, Ben Affleck was like, ABC, always be closing, right? And that's...
way before him, but I forget.
I like Baldwin.
No, yes, but Ben Affleck was in the movie. He's the one that threw the keys onto it, but this is a Ferrari, right? And it was Ben Affleck who said always be closing. But yeah, so it doesn't mean you're always raising money. You just always be selling the company, always be selling yourself as an industry expert, always be selling the company, the branding, so that it's always fresh in people's minds, and then you tell people you're raising money.
How long does it take to clean a shirt?
40 minutes.
40 minutes
Yeah.
of manual labor.
No.
Of what?
40 minutes, and you just from the start, you take a bucket of water and put your shirt into the water and put the device into the water.
Okay.
It's laundry powder.
Okay.
And then after 40 minutes, you just take out your shirt.
So you need a bucket.
I'm sorry?
You need a bucket.
Yeah.
Or a sink? Does a sink work?
Or toilet?
Containers. Yeah, I mean, every container is my bucket or
So who's your target market?
target market travelers.
Do they have a bucket?
No, but they probably have, they probably living in a hotel. You can use the washing, what?
The same?
Sink?
Yeah,
Does the
sink.
sink
Yeah,
work?
sink.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I am your target market. I am your buyer persona. Especially I traveled the world for a year, and I lived out of my backpack, and I realized that the greatest invention of mankind ever, by far, without a doubt, is the clothes washing machine. Because trying to wash the clothes by hand is amazingly hard, and I still could never do it quite right. If you stay at hotels, right? If you're staying at a Hilton, the price to wash one shirt is like more than the price of the shirts that I was wearing, certainly. Well, I wasn't at the time, certainly. But here, a couple key points that I'm trying to make is that one, you can use that. Here's I think your big problem or big question is if you can sell to the guys that are paying $12 a shirt to wash their shirt, right? You know your price point, and you can meet it, right? It's not hard to sell a $40 cleaning product to someone who's paying $12 to clean every single shirt that they have, right? If they can easily and quickly and in a user-friendly way drop it in the sink and bam, it's clean when they hang it up. And their, drying is another issue, right? That's a real important question. But the money is there somewhere. I love the idea. I think as long as you can solve the ultrasonic part of the waterproof, that can be solved. Okay. We can solve that. That's not going to be an issue. You can get manufacturing experts that can solve the waterproof part. And if you can solve the ultrasonic part of the product, you don't have a problem, I don't think, with the product itself. I think your real issue is with understanding who's going to buy it and how they're going to use it and how is it going to be really useful for their lives. And so it's funny, I think we're going to see this in the third thing too. Hardware products, like everything, are marketing problems more than anything else. And so before I continue on marketing, I'm going to pass it on to the marketing expert.
There are a lot of things I want to say, but we can talk later. I'm just going to focus on two things. One, just while you're giving the presentation, never read the slides. Look at who you're talking to. You're looking at the slides the whole time. Just look at the audience, look at us, but don't look at the slides. Don't read from the slides. And when it comes to your brand, so you've already done a lot of great work. You've got great product design. You've got great packaging. The brand looks great. But just be aware that when I look at a brand, I look at if you say it, it should be easy to spell. And when you spell it out, it should be easy to pronounce correctly. And your brand fails those two tests slightly, because if I see that as an American looking at it, I'm going to say, is this Wisoap? Or like Wisoap is not the first thing that's going to come to my mind. I'm going to be like Wisoap, or how do I say this? And if somebody says Wisoap, I'm going to be like, is that W-I? Is that W-E-E? Is that W-E? It's going to be a little bit harder to spell. You want to remove every little bit of friction that you can when it comes to your brand. And that's tough these days because all the good brand names seem to have been taken and all the domain names are taken. So that's tough. That's just a minor thing. I'm just throwing that out there. That's something that you want to think about when you're going to the Western markets, just how easy it is for people to understand that brand. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, this seems like a really good product. What it does is something that should sell. About the waterproofing, you've got some exposed terminals on the thing that I looked at. Why are you not using inductive charging?
First of all, I'm not an expert for manufacturing or designing. So the exposed part is used to charging the device. So I don't know how my designer thinks, but because I'm no expert for designing.
Okay, well this could be a long conversation about design stuff, but just like an electric toothbrush charges itself with inductive charging. It's a simple system, and there are more sophisticated systems yet not very expensive to charge your cell phone. You just put your phone on a pad and it charges that way. You don't have to have any terminals anywhere. So it's not, that seems to me like the way I would expect it to work if I went to the store and bought something like that. And another thing is, you know what a kiddie pool is? A pool for children. It has somewhat rigid walls on it, but they can still be rolled up. And the bottom of it is very flexible plastic. So the whole thing rolls up to a little canister about the size of this microphone. But you can unroll it and it becomes a basin that you could put water in and stick soap in. That should be in the package. There should be a package that contains that. I mean, you can still use a plastic basin or whatever, right? But you know, you should always have that as a backup. What if you don't have a basin, right? So, anyways, that's kind of something. Another question that I have is, why do you need soap? Because ultrasonic cleaning, I mean, you can go down to Wisoap or whatever, Taobao, you can buy these things for cleaning electronic parts. Ultrasonic cleaners have existed for a long time. They just keep agitating the material and little bits of dirt go out. It shouldn't be possible to do it without soap, isn't it?
No, actually, because how it works is like the ultrasonic energy get into the water and make some effects with the powder. The powder could make bubbles. So the ultrasonic energy making effects with the bubbles.
But the ultrasonic makes bubbles. That's what ultrasonic is.
I think the real difference is that with electronic parts and most things that ultrasonic welding has been used for, or cleaning, is much more rigid. And so the vibrations really knock off the dirt pretty well. But if you're looking at something really soft like fabric, it's going to move a lot with the water. And so I'm sure it would work over time, but I think the added soap will dissolve the oils quite a bit more quickly. And have you guys tested this?
Yeah, we've already done a lot of tests. But I'm no expert again. But so I can't clearly explain how it works. But yeah, it uses the bubble from the powder and making effects with one another.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think testing is always the answer. Always use the data for sure. But yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the ultrasonic cleaning itself is a very different mechanism, and I think you're basically kind of using two very different mechanisms to ultimately clean the shirt. But yeah, going from a manufacturing standpoint, as I should, I think fundamentally I like the idea, as Carl was mentioning, taking out, the best way to make something waterproof is to have a totally enclosed system, right? And inductive charging is a really great way to do that. Really easy to do. You could potentially also add conformal coating and some other things inside if you really needed to have those points for charging and really waterproof that part. But I guess to make a point kind of for the educational part of this is manufacturing is all about specifications, right? And you kind of say waterproof, there's many levels of waterproof, right? And if you want to know how to waterproof your product, the first thing you need to know is what level of waterproof you're going to get to. And there's water resistant, there's 1 meter, 3 meters, what have you. And whenever, I don't make this point because I think it's super important to your design. I think that's relatively easy with something like a design change. But the important thing about manufacturing in general is that manufacturing is built to make to specification. So everything that you do in manufacturing, you want to have a very clearly defined specification, a tolerance, and surface finish, dimensions, everything that you can. So you want to look at the color and all of that. You want to define that by Pantone and all that. I think another thing, more to this business plan too, it's a great idea to get rid of the black. You're not going to lose much market share because you don't have black. It's going to be very little difference to your business. But you're going to have 2 SKUs now. You're going to have double the inventory. If one sells and one doesn't, when do you place the order? How many do you paint? How much inventory are you sitting on that is cash wasted, right? Just sitting around doing nothing, which is critical to your business, right? So absolutely, in general, stay with as few SKUs as possible as a hardware startup and roll with that. So.
Any other things? What's that?
Just one thought more about fold-up hangers that already exist, right? It should also be a little travel hanger, folds up to be compact. It's like another thing that I would kind of expect to be in the box when I went to the store to buy something like this, with the basin and the hanger. It's part of the whole system.
For the drying part?
Yeah, you can hang up to dry, right? So we'll clip your pants or hang your shirt, that kind of thing.
Like with hot wing from the device, from the hanger, to dry the shirt.
Yeah, after you wash the shirt, you're going to have to dry it, right?
Yeah, actually, it's our next product.
Oh, okay. But I mean, I don't really want to have to buy two separate products, right? This is a whole process, right? I kind of expect that it's on my box, right?
Yeah, actually, our like ultimate project is like to do a machine, like a washing machine. Like the machine can do washing, drying, and stuff with the clothes like all together within 1 hour.
Right.
Yeah, that's the final.
But you can upsell people on all kinds of things or sell them a newer, better version of it. But like even when if you buy a piece of audio equipment, maybe they'll give you some little wires to connect it to something else, and they're crappy wires. But you'd be pissed off if they didn't include even crappy wires, right? So they give you like the lowest version of that thing. But at least if you have everything that you need, you can just plug it in right away.
So I have a funny story to share with you. So in my free time when I'm not working, I run. And I run a lot. So I run across deserts and deserts and jungles. Deserts, jungles, mountains. And they're like multi-day marathons. I wear one pair of shorts and one shirt for the entire 7 days that I'm running. It gets really dirty. And the way we wash our clothes is we have a Ziploc bag, we put our dirty stuff in there, we pour drinking water, then we shake it, and then we just squeeze it out, and we do it several times. So the point of this story is that you can expand your target base, your customers. I don't necessarily agree that the student or the traveler is really the right customer. Why? Because I think Greg was talking about a guy who pays $12 to have his shirt washed at a 5-star hotel. A student or a traveler isn't going to be staying in a 5-star hotel. They're probably going to be staying in a 3-star hotel. The 3-star hotel is probably not even going to offer washing service, so they have to take it downstairs to a laundry service, pay less money, but they wash it, they fold it, and then yet in a couple hours you pick it up. Right? So you're competing with that. You have to figure out what are all of the pain points that is from that type of service and what you can provide instead. You have to remove those pain points. So when you're doing your comparison, you have to be able to show that. If you're a student, you have the communal washing machines that you have to share with everybody. The pain point is that you have to keep going back and forth to make sure no one steals your clothes, or you have to make sure that you put more coins in the machine. Those are pain points. Another audience I think might be interesting is what about developing countries, where the only thing you need to wash your clothes is you need water, so people get up from the river. You don't necessarily need a bucket per se, right? People are washing their clothes on rocks and they're smashing it and trying to get the dirt out that way. All you need is a plastic bag. So what if you were to have that device and you had a plastic bag in there just to educate the consumers, like you can just use any kind of Ziploc bag or any kind of plastic bag, put it in there, lay it in the sink, fill it up with water, put your stuff in there, some soap, and then you can wash your clothes that way. What if you partner with an outdoor company that makes green soap, and you provide this to people in the outdoors that go camping and they need to wash their clothes? There's sort of, you can think about the audience and expand it.
Really interesting project. Thank you so much.